here. I cannot believe what I just did. I just tried to do a 20-minute live stream on my old YouTube channel. Did not realize I was not logged into the Andrew Douglas Moon YouTube channel. And I was sitting there thinking, what is happening? Because I sat there for 20 minutes and only 5 people came through the entire time. And I was like, this is unusual. I will say, on the other hand, it definitely taught me something very important. Me and my wife are literally just talking about the past 2 hours. Should I start a new channel, about the direction that I want to take this one? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll actually work out depending on the situation with like my current subscribers and stuff. Well, I learned my lesson. As it is right now, it would be really not good to do something like that. But with that being said, thank you guys, anybody who pops through here, doing a Sunday stream at this moment. Going to be talking about fragrances and stuff as always. You guys are more than welcome to come through and ask any questions you may have about fragrances. Again, this is a family-friendly channel, and anybody of all walks of life are welcome, but I'm not going to tolerate any bull hockey. What's up, John? Super happy to see you, buddy. Grateful that you've already come through. Just want to let you know as well, in case you're interested, at the moment, I'm going to be streaming roughly for 30 minutes to an hour doing this. But after I'm done with this, I'm going to be doing my next Bible study. And I'm going to kind of gear shift it a little bit about how I go about that. But so basically, I'm going to do this until about maybe 2 o'clock, 2:17. And then after that, I'm going to be hitting the road, getting in the car. And then from where I end up going to the track, I'm going to be doing the Bible study there if you're interested in coming through for that. If not, that's totally fine. But like I said, I'm going to do some fragrance stuff for right now and then going to gear shift it a little. But yeah, as I said at the intro of this, in case anybody missed it, I did not realize I was logged into my old YouTube channel. And I tried to do this same stream for 20 minutes and was like, what's happening? So Zerjoff Herba Pura out of 10. Zia, thanks for popping through. Zerjoff Herba Pura, personally, I'm going to give it for scent quality and then performance, I'm going to give it about like an 8.7. So excellent performance, monstrous projection, nice scent. But the only issue that I have with it is kind of very specific. A lot of people, it's supposed to be unisex, but a lot of people feel that it leans feminine. I like it, and I do wear it from time to time. It's a great summer fragrance, but definitely a little hard for everybody to enjoy. It's very strong on the passion fruity mango type of scent. So yeah, good morning, Diego. Super happy to see you. And that's a fantastic scent of the day. To Joseph, ironically, I am wearing it's a different shirt, but it's the same exact color because I have multiple of these that I wore yesterday. And so basically, if anybody saw the stream yesterday, I like a cartoon character. The only thing different about me right now is my hat. Santal 33 is trash, bro. Hey, that's your personal thoughts. Everybody's got their own. Your batteries haven't ran out yet, have they? What's up, brother? What's up, buddy? Super happy to see you. Yeah, like I was saying at the start of this, I literally didn't realize I was logged into my old YouTube channel. And I streamed for like 20 minutes, and I kept thinking, what the heck? Like, nobody is here. What's going on here? Like, no matter what, 5 people showed up for that whole 20 minutes, and I was like, what's going on here? And then finally, I ended it, and I saw, uh-oh, I'm not even logged into the right channel. So, super happy to see you, Redbeard. What's up, buddy? Just throwing this out there one more time to anybody who pops through here. I'm going to be doing this fragrance stream for a while, but then put your hat backwards. I don't want to do that, to be honest with you, but I appreciate you asking or telling me to do that, but not going to do it. I was watching We Need to Play Together. Santal 33 smell like sandalwood and pickle juice. Hey, it is what it is. Your best fragrance ever, including designer or niche. For me personally, by the way, to Joseph, I'm wearing some just basic Hollister shorts, nothing special. But with it being said, my personal favorite fragrance is Jean Paul Gaultier's La Male Parfum. I just love the iris. I love the way it comes through as a whole. But as well, I love Zerjoff's Naxos 40 Knots, Maison Francis Oud Silk Mood, stuff like that. But with that being said, what shorts? Yeah, and have you smelled anything from Dior Approved line? I actually have not, Diego. So I've thought about that a lot because I see like Aaron Terrence Hughes. He reviews those a lot, or at least he has in the past, and I was very interested in checking that out, but I haven't got around to it yet. What's up, buddy? God bless you. Thank you, Chris Roy, for coming through. So again, just one more time, I am going to be doing the fragrance stream for roughly about maybe another 40 minutes or so. And then after this, to anybody who's curious, because there is more things about this channel that's going to continue to gear shift a little bit based off of personal thoughts and circumstances and a lot of discussion with my wife. So I am going to be doing my Bible study with you guys. If anybody's curious for the second verse or the second chapter that we're going to be doing here in the next roughly around 2:30 or maybe probably around 3 o'clock. So if anybody wants to come through for that, you're more than welcome. It's going to be here, but you're just going to have to be doing it in a different setting. Top 5 Zerjoff, Naxos 40 Knots, Opera. Then I'm going to go Torino 23. And then lastly, I think personally, I'm going to have to rock out with, ooh, that's tough. I might say either Aqua Regia or Alexandria 2, as far as top 5 Zerjoffs. Yeah, what's up, JJ? You need to get your butt and go to Ralph's Club Elixir. I'm telling you, just like Armoff, I'm told. Heck yeah, I'm going to check that out, Redbeard. Thank you for letting me know. Vid was removed when I clicked, but I was like, dude, that's Andrew. Yes, it is. It is me. So yeah, like I said, the Moonhuggy Adventures channel is what my wife and me used to have like our little family videos and stuff like that on. So I was streaming for a little while and I was like, this is cool. But then at the end of the day, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And then I just was like, all right, I got to go back to my real channel. I wish we were closer. I wish we did too, Redbeard. That'd be super awesome for us to be able to hang out. But like I said, maybe someday, hopefully me and my wife will be able to come down there and hang out with you in Florida and get to do some sniffing together. Top JPG, for me personally, I love Le Mal Le Parfum and then the Elixir, but then as well the Beau Le Parfum. So for me personally, I understand for everybody it's different. If you like Irish, you'll love Club Elixir. I am definitely going to have to check that out. Did you try? I have not, RC, but thank you for asking. Again, as always, if there's something I haven't tried, I always kind of push that to whoever else is watching if they're able to help out. But yes, with that being said, the things that I've been currently thinking about doing with this channel and what I've been working on at this point is probably going to really continue to add to maybe the destruction of this channel, but it's totally okay because it's just stuff that I feel in my heart that I want to do going forwards. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit here coming shortly. But for the moment, again, I'm going to be doing questions as usual, answering you guys if you should have any fragrance related questions and just kind of chilling. They have some good stuff. Greece, Dior, Oud. So definitely I want to check out the Tobacco Color and the Bois d'Argent, or however you say that, because I've heard so many of those are actually really good. What scent am I rocking today? So first of all, that's a very, very fantastic choice that you picked there, buddy. My scent today, I actually went with Versace Eros Energy, but also I did retry. So Afnan's Supremacy Collector's Edition. This is something that I was going to retry on my hand just to see overall like how truly the performance is, because I tried it once and I knew I liked it, but I really went crazy about this one today. The way that's like the apple notes, they're like the apple and the bergamot at the top, and the way it blends with everything as a whole, it is really strong. And those top notes with the appley bergamot, the fruity feel stays for like a really long time. And then after about 3 hours or so, it started shifting into that like dense woodiness underneath it. I got to admit, I sprayed it on my hand at like 5 o'clock this morning, 5:30 a.m. And it has gone. It has gone for a very long time. So I got a lot of respect for this. F9, the 9 p.m. or whatever it was, wasn't too big for me, too youthful, but they knocked it out of the park with this one. I'm going to have to check out more of their stuff. Douglas, every cologne I buy sounds good, but has the animalic scent and ends up bad. Hawass is hyped up. Yeah, Hawass is definitely hyped up, just being straight up. I'm not a huge fan of it. Real quick, okay, bro, can you suggest one as the best beast mode perfume and low budget from India? Actually, yes. To be real with you, I'm going to suggest this. I haven't tried any of the other Supremacy line. I've heard things like Supremacy in Heaven's a little, maybe not the best performer in the world, but again, it's kind of up to everybody. And I cannot say about production value, like do they stay on top of it, quality control? But definitely Collector's Edition, Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition. This is supposed to be like Creed Aventus Absolute. So I've been told. But it's apple, bergamot with some lemon, and then very rich woodiness underneath it. I think there's some agarwood notes supposed to be here. But it was like, I think $35-40, and it has been very strong on my skin today. Why does Lady Obsession smell better than Obsession for Men? I don't know, to be honest with you. So do I have any Game of Spades? Jack, I do not have any Game of Spades, to be completely honest with you. Emir Vous Zest, I have not tried that, and thank you for asking them. I always appreciate anybody asking any questions. And again, if there's anything that I haven't personally tried, but somebody in the crowd has tried before, you're more than welcome to give your thoughts. But no, I do not have any Game of Spades, I'm sorry. I plan to get some at some point. I don't really know where I want to start just yet. But right now I've got Argos and a couple other fragrance lines in mind for me to get my hands on. So I really want to get the Discovery set from Mind Games, because when I tried them out, it's actually funny. So they are very expensive. I got to agree with that. But as much as I love Aaron Terrence Hughes and I trust his like thoughts and stuff, again, fragrance is technically very much subjective. And I saw him go through a couple of Mind Games recently and said they just are not for him. Whereas for me, I actually tried the entire line when I was at the La Parfumerie place. I loved most of them. I thought they were fantastic, very strong, just probably very overpriced. What's your opinion on Jupe? I think it's fun. Jupe is very much a classic fragrance, so I think it's nice. It's not I wouldn't buy it, but I think it's fun, like as an old school fragrance from the early 2000s and 90s. How many years do you reckon it would be until you completely ran out of cologne, assuming you don't get more? Bruno, that's a really fun question. I've thought about that a lot. because I haven't bought any more except for the one last RMOF that I've got coming in. So that'll put me at 149 fragrances. And I was just thinking the other day, how long would it take me to burn through these if I was literally using them at my current spray ratio? Because I do roughly 5 sprays a day. So bink, 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 and then each shoulder. So if I was to do it around that range and really work through it, it'd probably take an extremely long time, because I think they say that around 4 sprays or so, the average 100 mil should last you like maybe about 6 months to a year, something like that. So who really knows? But it could last me like more than 3 lifetimes probably. Thoughts on Issey Miyake? I don't know. I haven't tried any personally. But if anybody else has, you're more than welcome to give your thoughts. Yeah, John, you're definitely right. I'm never going to probably run out, to be honest with you. Although I do intend at some point to, after I've done like real reviews of a chunk of these, because you got to understand, there's a huge amount of these I haven't even done review videos for yet, if I get around to doing them the way that I used to do my review videos. So I thought about, after I do them, I'll probably give a lot of these away to people in my personal life. Givenchy Reserve, I have not tried that one. I just watched the Mind Games video Aaron dropped a couple of days ago. Yeah, I did too. When I saw Aaron Terrence Hughes' new video on the Mind Game fragrance he did, I smelled that one when I was at the store. Like I said, I really liked it. He said that it was a little too simplistic, and I'll give him credit again. He's a professional. He knows these materials. It has excellent performance, excellent strength that I was able to test out. The only issue is, again, it's not like the most unique thing in the world, but it was very good fragrance, and it was not too boring. But again, everybody's opinion is different. The price from Mind Games is where my issue falls. It's like $370 for 100 mil, and that's just outrageous, to be completely real. Perfumers charge for the name and for like the niche level of it as well. And to be completely honest, a lot of these materials are not worth how much people ask for a bottle. For travel to Asia, what is the best cologne for travel? Ooh, and by the way, I have not smelled Eccentric Molecules, but real quick to answer Robert. Again, appreciate all you guys for your questions. It means the world to me. I will say, I'm not entirely sure about the majority of Asia. I've got a lot of friends who've been to Japan. My son's family is from Thailand on his mom's side. So to be real with you, I will say, I have heard that in a lot of places in Asia, they're not the biggest fans, especially in places like Japan, of strong perfumery. I don't know how that is across the board, especially considering that I'm pretty sure parts of India and stuff are part of like an extension of Asia. So if I'm not incorrect about that, and if I am, I'm sorry, no offense. But it just depends on where you are. So if you're closer to India, closer to the Middle East, people are probably going to wear all kinds of like dense oudi fragrances and things as well, like jasmine and rose. If you are literally going towards like China and places like that, I'm just not sure. So I wish I could help you, but I just don't know. The Discovery scent, 20 cents are pretty good, but they claim extract and not seeing extract longevity. I guess it really depends on for everybody. But I do like Mind Games. So I want to get the collection set, because the Mind Games collection set is only $75 US where I'm at. So you're literally getting all these samples. You can try them and do videos for them if that was what you were going to do. But I would never buy one of their bottles. Maison Crivelli, I'd like to buy actual bottles of Maison Crivelli because they are fantastic. Especially, again, I love the new Saffron Maison Crivelli fragrance. As well, Une Nuit Nomade, or however you say it. Again, I'm sorry. I have a French ancestry. I don't speak French, so no offense to anybody if I sound stupid. But with that being said, I will say that they have fantastic and very powerful fragrances as well. But if you ever get a chance, by the way, when I was at that fragrance event, please check out Amawage's Purpose. Amawage's Purpose is like super dummy strong, and like it was the strongest thing I sprayed that day, and like beat the crap out of Mind Games, all those fragrances. It was just going. Good afternoon, Mick. Super happy to see you here at number 17. Favorite niche line, Zerjoff for me personally. About to check out Maison Crivelli. Heck yeah, I hope you do. That's no strong fragrances in Southeast Asia, Philippines, and Thailand. Yeah, in certain places, definitely just taking it a little bit easy. Really dope test. Thank you. I appreciate that, number 17. It's actually very rare that people give me compliments on them. Like, even though I have a lot of tattoos, I'm not like huge on the culture anymore these days, but a lot of times people come here just talking crap. So I appreciate that. It's nice. They stick to only minimalistic and clean fragrances. I'd say so to an extent. Purpose is an incense work of art. Yes, it is, JJ. By the way, Elot, thanks for coming through. Favorite Zerjoff fragrance? That's going to be for me personally. Naxos. That's not really a shocker for a lot of people because it's like probably the most popular of the bunch other than right now Herba Pura. But if I had to say, Naxos is definitely my favorite Zerjoff in and of itself, because it's just, to me, it's a masterpiece and I love it. So very well performance, not all in your face, but does the job. And then 40 knots is my second favorite. I love Zerjoff's 40 knots. So as always, I really appreciate you guys coming through asking questions. I don't want to be misleading with this channel. I'm happy to answer you guys' fragrance questions, but this channel is going to continue to do fragrance stuff, but it is gear shifting more towards just general life things, as I just love talking with you guys, love hanging out. Half the people who come through here just like to chill and talk and don't even necessarily care about the fragrances. And so I really just want to do what I like, whether it makes me successful here or not. And talking about my faith, talking about life, and helping you guys out, discussing like sobriety and things like that. Kind of going to start doing that more. So just not really caring how many viewers I get anymore. Just want to hang out and have a cool community. So, but definitely, have you tried any Zerjoff coffee fragrances? Not really. I know that there's supposed to be like one or two that I haven't got my nose around. A lot of people think of Eomi Special Monkey as a coffee type of fragrance, but it's really just like a dense caramel scent with cocoa notes and stuff going underneath it. I do really enjoy this, but I've said this a lot, but the Mind Games fragrance that I tried recently that has a caramel note to it was like outrageously strong and just smelled so good. I prefer it personally. What's good? Scent of the day, Narciso Rodriguez, Blue Noir. Heck yeah. That's what's up, Jason. I appreciate you coming through, by the way. I'm very happy to see you. My scent of the day was originally Versace Eros, the Energy Edition. Really love that one. It's honestly a fantastic summer fragrance, but I'm going to, here in a little bit, it kind of wore off a little, especially because we walked 3 miles earlier. So I'm really thinking about touching up with this one. I know I've been holding this for a while, but if you guys have not checked out, I am very, very impressed with Afnan's, the collector's edition of Supremacy. I really want to know if any of you guys have tried Supremacy in Heaven. Please let me know how that one is. Let me know how the smell is, because I know it's supposed to be like a Silver Mountain Water Doohickey. As you can see, I've got Club de Nuit Sillage. I love that one. It's a good take. Very synthetic, but pretty good performance. But if anybody's tried Supremacy in Heaven, I'd love to know your thoughts, because I'm thinking about adding it to the collection. I love the bottle. It's one of my favorite color schemes of a bottle I've ever seen. Not this one, the Supremacy in Heaven. But yeah, this bad boy has actually performed exceptionally well today. It's outbeat, not exaggerating. This has actually outdone the Club de Nuit Intense Pure Parfum edition as far as strength. Let's see. Midnight Hour Banana Republic gets compared to Blockade Mind Games. I have not checked out any Banana Republic fragrances. I like Banana Republic. It's a fun store to go to, but I haven't checked out any of their stuff. Scent of the day, Milano Fragranze Panettone. I haven't checked that out either. That sounds delicious. That actually sounds like something I'd like to get my nose on. I am a sucker for gourmand fragrances. I'm starting to kind of readjust myself a little bit to more bright, woodsy citrus fragrances. I can appreciate a true to the core citrus fragrance, but they're not my style. I like things that has a little bit of aquatic notes to it, or has like a very dense woodsy feel going on. That's why this one and the Club de Nuit Intense Man speaks to me so much. So, Greenlee, stuff like Greenlee doesn't work for me very well. I like it, but it doesn't really work for me as well. So stuff like that, I really appreciate when you guys suggest gourmands. And what's good, bro? What's up, back sneaker guy? Super happy to see you here. City of Stars by Louis Vuitton. I have not smelled City of Stars by Louis Vuitton, but I'd love to know how it is. What's the performance? What does it kind of smell like? I would look this stuff up with my other phone when I'm doing these streams, but I don't know, I know that I probably bore the crap out of half of you guys with the stuff I just veer off and talk about, but I don't want to just sit here and stare at my phone and stuff. So I appreciate when you guys give me your thoughts and help me out. But definitely just wanted to come chill. There was no particular subject as a whole for this kind of stuff today. Have you tried Tarathi Blue? So that's actually something 3 times now, including the other day before I decided to get Club de Nuit's The Woman. I guess it is. It's like The Woman Intense. So it's supposed to be like rose and oud and stuff. You know I love rose fragrances. Rose fragrances are some of my favorite. But the other day, I had Afnan's Tarathi Blue on my list of things to buy. But once again, I was like, I just can't do it. Unless you guys can really confirm for me that it's worth having and it's really good performance. It's just, to me, not something I want to buy as a whole, because it seems from what they say online that it performs, from most people, pretty poorly. That could just be people going nose blind. But as well, with some of these cheaper companies, no offense to them in any way, shape, or form, just being honest, with some of these companies that sell cheaper products, sometimes you will also have quality control issues. That can happen for expensive companies as well. But you will run into that problem of not every bottle is equal. And that's happened with me. I've bought same year batches before from certain fragrances. Not going to say who. Don't want to be offensive or nothing. But one of them performs exceptionally well. The other one's you might as well not have even sprayed it on. You just got to carry it with you all day. So I would like to know what you guys think about Tarathi Blue. I need your best opinion on Rayhan Lion. I heard it was as good as Ultra Male. So I will say I've got Rayhan Lion and Rayhan Tiger, the Cal Cologne edition. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. So when I do these things, this is just me as somebody who bought these, and I tell you my honest thoughts, just to keep it real. And there's a lot of crap getting pushed out there. And straight up, this smells similar to the Ultraman. Ultraman. This smells very similar to Ultraman, but it is missing a little something. That happens a lot sometimes. This is nice. I do think it's worth having. To be real with you, it's got decent performance for the price that you pay. I like this more than I actually like the Rayhan Tiger. So Rayhan Land is a really good fragrance. It's just not, it's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one to Ultra Male. I don't really think it was supposed to be, obviously. Like, no offense, not saying it sarcastically. But when you look it up, they were trying to do something a little different anyway. So I do got respect for it. So Rayhan doesn't always hit for me. The Crimson, to me, was horrible. Like, just big red chewing gum. But their Elixir was pretty decent as somebody who loves Jean-Paul Gaultier. So I recommend this. So Supremacy in Heaven is great. A little less inky than Sillage. Similar performance. Thank you, Yo-Yo. Well, then I think I might actually get me some. I let me try Tarathi Blue macerate for a month and how it has great longevity. I might check that out. PDM Haltane. By the way, I just want to say this again. I always appreciate you guys' input. This is not just a channel about me being Mr. Like I know everything. I do not. So you guys giving me your thoughts and input, it really helps me and means a lot. So Haltane PDM, really good fragrance. I actually, at one point in time, including a video where I compared this to Oud for Greatness, at one point in time, I preferred this over Oud for Greatness. But I do got to say, since then, my opinion has definitely changed. And I think I like Oud for Greatness more in the dry down and overall performance. So it's nice. But to be real with you, PDMs are great, but they're not that great performers. And that's just not a secret. Oud for Greatness is actually a pretty good performer. What's a good, cheap, fresh cologne for afternoon, like warmish weather? Females, I'm like late 20s. By the way, appreciate you. Yo, what's up, Sarthak? Super happy to see you here, buddy. So a good cheap one. I'm going to steer people, to be honest with you, Rayhan's Lion, not a bad choice. Rayhan's Lion's a really good choice, as well as like Sensual Obsessions, Eagle Star, or Hot Lodge's Vanilla Dunes. Pretty good choices for like a summer evening, afternoon type of deal. And those are good price ranges. But again, to be real, no, you know what? What was I thinking of the other day? This was a toughie, like I said, to suggest to a lot of people because it depends on your personal taste. But Coco Morado is a very good, by French Avenue. I think it's a really good, cheaper alternative for like an evening time fragrance. Very strong, very dense, and it works for me. But again, like just like a Zur Oud, it's not for everybody. What's up, overseas? Happy to see you here. Jesse Rhymes, Latafa is good. Heck yeah, I had to check that one out. I haven't checked that out myself. Hey, excuse. What's up, Ali? Your top 3 summer night out date fragrances. So just in general, top summer fragrances are going to be Le Beau Le Parfum or interchangeable at Paradise Garden, but I prefer Le Beau Le Parfum, to be honest with you, as well. If you're talking about purely for a night out, I think that, like I got Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I think it's a fantastic summertime evening fragrance, just my personal opinion. So, by the way, as more people are coming through here, I do not know of any good Tom Ford clones myself. So if anybody else can help my buddy, I'd appreciate you. As far as 1 to 10, how much do you rate Le Beau Le Parfum? Oh, it's a straight up 10 for me personally. Just want to throw this out here. The more you guys are popping through here, super appreciate y'all coming through to hang out and watch. Just want to let you know, my mods or anybody who's hanging out here, this is a family-friendly show. So I'm personally Christian, but whether you're atheist, Muslim, I don't care. You're all welcome. If you start saying inappropriate stuff, you're clearly going to get blocked from the chat because youngsters pop through here. But other than that, you're more than welcome to ask questions and just share thoughts, talk about life, whatever. Just letting it be known as more people come through, we're not going to say inappropriate crap. Just let you know ahead of time. You'll get blocked. Basically, Tom Ford clones are pretty good. I have to check those out. I haven't tried any myself. So, and again, all you guys are also welcome to help each other in the chat if there's something I haven't tried myself. I do not have Gucci Guilty myself. I've tried all the Gucci fragrances time and time again. They're just not personally for me. Just throwing it out there. Tarathi is great, but I prefer Philos Messenger. I might have to check that out. So, Vibrato, I want to say that properly, by Sospiro is pretty decent. Look at all these people in the chat. Let's go. Appreciate you, Tyler French. Super happy to see you stopping by, my friend. There's Afnon Rare Carbon. So here's the deal. Thanks for asking your question. I actually do not have Afnon's Rare Carbon, but I will say, especially with how I've been impressed by this, I'd like to give it a shot, just like Supremacy in Heaven. I've been looking at Rare Carbon a lot lately because Tom Ford's Ombre Leather Parfum is one of my top 10 favorite fragrances of all time. Eau de Parfum as well is great. So when I saw that Rare Carbon is one of the higher rated like dupes of that, I've been thinking a lot about wanting to get my hands on that for sure. So what's your top 3 everyday fragrances under $150? Versace Eros Parfum, very much an everyday fragrance, as well as the Eros Energy, fantastic. As well, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, very good, under $50 or $150. And depending on how much of a bottle you get, you can as well get Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Parfum for under that same price range. Most wanted Parfum, 1 out of 10. I think I'm probably going to say maybe like a 8. Maybe 8.1, just in overall like what it's valued at and what it's decency for. The cologne at Tom Ford, fabulous and pretty good. I might have to check that out. I do like Fabulous by Tom Ford, especially, excuse me, sorry about that, I'm a little gassy from lunch, but especially the Parfum edition. I really like that. My buddy at the store at Nordstrom, he showed me Tom Ford's Fabulous Parfum edition, blended with, oh my gosh, what, Rose and Oud or something, I think it was by Joe Malone. Pretty decent. Man, got my hands on the new D&G. The fig really shines through. Heck yeah, Tyler French. Appreciate you for coming through, by the way, buddy. But yes, the Capri in Love by Dolce & Gabbana, it is a fantastic choice, especially like because it's an eau de parfum, but it performs very well. Dolce & Gabbana actually does make good performing fragrances. It's just that the original light blue, amazing fragrance, game changer, not a great performer in and of itself. Even like the new formulation they just did, also don't really love the new bottle, but is what it is. But the Eau Intense and then the K Eau de Parfum and the Capri in Love, they are fantastic for what they are. For the price, good suggestion there, John. I'm glad to be here. You're awesome. I appreciate you, Tyler. Looking to purchase my first Creed fragrances. Which one do you recommend? They're definitely not Blind Buy worthy sloppy, only because the performance is crap for the most part for Creeds. But if you had to get one, I don't recommend you get one. I recommend you get one of the dupes, but that's just me. I'm not a big dupe guy, but I do recommend when it comes to Creeds, kind of stay away because they're just overrated for the price. But if you got to get one, Silver Mountain Water or Milsom Imperial or some I'd recommend. Definitely for me personally, ombre leather is where I'm going to go with that. Not the EDP edition. I wouldn't buy Creed. Yeah, I wouldn't buy Creed personally. They're very expensive and just not necessarily worth it. Do you prefer Most Wanted Parfum or EDP? Actually, for me personally, I'm going to go EDP. Sorry for the spam, but what blue fragrances do you recommend? Hey, I absolutely appreciate you. Don't bother at all. You're not really spamming. You're just trying to make sure I can see you, and that's cool. Sometimes it's difficult. I'm not that popular at all, but sometimes the comments come through and it'd be a little hard to keep up. I want to answer you guys the best I can. So, with that being said, Bleu de Chanel, the Parfum or Eau de Parfum, but I prefer the Parfum. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Eau Intense. It's not a blue fragrance, but I do want to suggest as far as aquatics go, I do think Paradise Garden by Jean Paul Gaultier is fantastic as well. I'm going to say Percival is amazing. I love Percival, but it's not the best performance in the world, but it is one of the better performing, ironically, for its profile notes of the, Parfums de Marly's. And there was one other, 40 Knots by Zerjoff, to me is a blue fragrance, and it's incredible. So, Christian Dior, Chanel, YSL, Creed. I'm going to go with Chanel for that one personally. Italian Love and Forever. I have not, I know that I've recently tried it, but I haven't tried it enough to give you honest thoughts about it. Did you try the new Hawass Elixir? I do have the Hawass Elixir. I've got the entire Hawass line at this point. Just going to be real with you. The Hawass Elixir is actually, after the harsh, it's a very harsh alcoholic opening, but I will say, as someone who absolutely loves Jean Paul Gaultier's, I got the Elixir and the Elixir Absolute. I will say Hawass actually did a pretty good job. I'm not a big Hawass guy, but as far as Hawass Black and Hawass Elixir, they actually did a pretty decent job for what it's worth, to be honest with you. 2 weeks ago, you were sitting at like 15 in the chat. Hey, I'm just enjoying myself. I appreciate you, Tyler. Anybody who pops through, I'm thankful for every one of you guys who comes through here. Without y'all, it'd be absolutely meaningless. What do you think about Goldfield and Banks? I haven't tried any personally, but if anybody else here has tried Goldfield and Banks, you are more than welcome to give your thoughts. So again, as always, I try to just keep it as real and honest with you guys as I can. If there's something I haven't tried, I'm not going to pretend. If you guys have, I welcome you to help my buddies out here in the chat. It means a lot to me. So have you tried Copium by Orta? I have not. No, I haven't tried that, but I love leather fragrances, so I think I'd like to try that. Ingenious Ginger. I've seen a lot of people talk about Ingenious Ginger. I'd like to check it out, but it's not super cheap. So at this point, I'm kind of veering off from really spending much money from a lot more fragrances. I've got so many to review and talk about at this point. So I know for you guys, it probably drives y'all crazy of me repetitively showing you the same ones. But for me personally, it's expensive to do this when you're buying them yourself. What do you think about Liquid Broom between that and Stronger With You Parfum for the winter? I love Stronger With You Parfum. I got it as soon as it came out and I went crazy about it. I loved it intensely. Didn't buy a bottle though, got a sample. Love absolutely. Didn't buy a bottle though. Parfum, no, I went crazy and have to get it. So, want to try Ingenious Ginger? It's highly recommended. Liquid Brewing is really good though, personally. Hello, Hari. Has anyone tried Killian? So, apple brandy on the rocks. My buddy TT over here, TT Fragrances, apple brandy on the rocks. So as you know, I'm not a huge fan of Killian. I like Killian, not a huge fan of Killian's Angel Share. I reviewed it. It's cool, but it's too syrupy for me. Angel Brandy on the rocks, on the other hand, is fantastic. I actually really like that one. And if it wasn't so expensive and I didn't have other things on my list, I'll probably get that one, just to be real with you. Apple brandy is a winner. Yes, it is. It is absolutely fantastic. By the way, anybody popping through here, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. Super happy to see you guys because I'm a doofus and I tried to start this same stream on my old channel and I was like, where is everybody? So super happy to see you guys. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is not purely and solely just a fragrance channel anymore, but I do answer you guys' questions should you have them, and I appreciate y'all very much. So have no shyness, and I'll try to get to you if I can do so. Tom Ford Leather, or if you're talking about ombre leather, Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. The Eau de Parfum is great as well, but the Parfum is my favorite. Have you tried? So yes, Stronger With You Sandalwood. Actually, between the entire Stronger With You line, Parfum is at the top, and the Sandalwood second place. For me personally, I love Sandalwood. It's incredible. Any affordable alternative to La Nuit de Lan? I don't know. I wish I could help you, Jack Sparrow. Super fun name, by the way. But again, I don't want to tell you anything. I could Google search it, but then again, that'd be stupid. You could do the same thing. So if I haven't tried anything personally, I don't want to lie to you, and I have not tried anything like that. Thoughts on Prada Ocean, Le Parfum? So I checked that out, and I just want to say it's very decent, but it isn't something for me. Prada Ocean, wow, that was horrible. Prada Ocean, Le Parfum, it's pretty cool, but I'm not going to buy it myself. How and when to wear ombre leather? Anytime. Ombre leather, especially if you get the Parfum edition with the sandalwood notes to it, you can wear it early in the morning going for a walk. You can wear it anytime during a summer's day, but as well, it's like interchangeable perfectly for wintertime as well. That's just me, but that's how I feel. If you could recommend any with sandalwood, what would it be? Either Stronger With You Sandalwood, or like I just said, 100% ombre leather parfum. Perfect. Tell me about Humra Dukan Longevity. So Humra Dukan performs pretty well, but completely honest with you, it's a waste of money. If you've already got Humra, the original, Kawa is my favorite, but if you got the original Humra by Latafa, it's a waste of money getting Dukan because it's kind of like a cash grab. They put pimento and so forth in the opening, so that's the only thing that's different. But once it dries down, it's pretty much the original. So pretty decent, but is Amouage Reflection your favorite Amouage? It is. Actually, of all the Amouages, Amouage Reflection, Interlude Black Iris, and Rose Incense are my personal favorites. Wear it with any suede jackets or leather for that Western feel. Yes, you can definitely do that. Not sure about dupes. And I appreciate, by the way, when I see you guys help each other out, I appreciate that. It means a lot to me because that's what I want, is you guys having a community where y'all help each other. So again, if there's a fragrance I don't know anything about or haven't tried, please, if you do, help each other. Comment, dude. It means a lot to me when y'all do. That's cool. How is Tom Ford Oud Wood? I love the smell, hate the performance. I enjoyed it. It's one of the first Tom Fords I ever fell in love with. Performs like crap. Not worth the money unless you can find it for like a really decent, a really decent drop in price. I totally brain farted what the word is. Mascara Cedric Bois or Instant Crush? I'm gonna go with Instant Crush just because it's an even better performer, but Cedric Bois Intense is really nice. What do you think about 1 million bar cologne? I'm assuming, well, it depends which million you're talking about, but for me personally, I love 1 million Elixir and then 1 million Gold. Fantastic. What's your favorite green apple note besides Greenly? For me, definitely going to be the green apple note that comes through in Supremacy Collector's Edition. I really do love the way it shines through in that bad boy. As well, I have a fragrance that was made that's actually shipped to me, and it's on the way right now, and by Sensual Obsessions. Really love those dudes. They're actually super cool. Again, ain't nobody sponsoring me, so when I say this, I mean it. These guys are awesome, and they have a thing on their website you can make your own. And so I did that, and it's like rose with iris and green apple, and I really can't wait to see how it turns out. I'm super excited. Stronger With You Parfum, very awesome. Aqua Dubai, have not tried that, buddy, so sorry, but if anybody has any experience, you're more than welcome. By me, thank you for being here, buddy. You're 1 million personal. Yeah, 1 million Lucky. That's a good fragrance. 1 million Lucky is pretty nice. Just got Club Nuit Precious. I haven't tried that one yet, so I'm interested. Samuel Pomerant and Strong With You Sandalwood. It actually has a pretty decent strength, just kind of like what you get out of like a Bleu de Chanel Parfum, which has sandalwood in it as well. Do you know of any fragrance that has green apple and vanilla? I do not, but I would recommend you, if you go to, again, like I said, it's like $41 to choose your notes. If you go to Sensual Obsessions website, it's Extrait de Parfums. I would recommend if you'd like to try that out, it'd be really nice. Just like straight up, wait a minute, you said green apple and vanilla. I'm a moron. Now that I think about it, literally the elixir by 1 million, Paco Rabanne 1 million elixir, that is like damask rose with apple and vanilla and amber. So I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. But still, if you want to make your own, you can totally do that. I have not tried Stetson Black. I'm sorry. Again, but if anybody else is here, you're more than welcome to give your opinions and thoughts, and I appreciate y'all. Brandon McDaniel, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. My favorite classic was Dolce & Gabbana Eau de Toilette, but these days I always steer people towards the Eau Intense because it's just a fantastic performer. And the Light Blue Capri and Love is a really good update. Can you review Sospiro Vibrato? I can tell you my thoughts about it as of what I've experienced, but I normally don't like to give too many thoughts unless I've really tried something long term and can tell you how it performs. So I don't know how it is as a performer, although it was mildly weak, brand new at the shop that I tried it at. But the scent was very nice. Wasn't the most unique thing ever, but it was a pretty decent fragrance. Just kind of expensive. But then again, a lot of them are. Club de Nuit EDP worth it. I would personally steer you towards the Pure Parfum edition, not the collector's edition. The Pure Parfum Club de Nuit is fantastic. What do you think about Dior? I love Dior. Dior Homme Intense is fantastic. Dior Sauvage Parfum especially. Dior Sauvage Parfum and Elixir. They're some of my favorites of all time. Sorry, can you say the name of the site again where you can make your own? Absolutely. So just like smelling, scent, SCENTUAL, Sensual Obsessions. Just go to their website or check them out on Instagram. And they have a thingy where for literally like $40 plus, I think $5 or $6 shipping. That's what I believe it was, like 45 or 46 overall. Yeah, you can choose 6 notes, something like that, and make your own fragrance. So that's super cool. And like I said, it's Extrait de Parfum. And I wouldn't say it if they didn't do a great job. They crushed it. Like their Eagle Star is no joke compared to Liquid Brune or Vanilla Dunes. Like the best, densest, like beautiful take on Altair by Parfums de Marly I've had so far. Is Club de Nuit and turning ultra niche? Kind of, not completely. Polo Cologne. Polo's pretty decent. It's not my personal taste, but it's decent. Between Eros, Versace Eros Flame or Energy, which is better? I prefer Flame, to be honest with you. I just love the blood orange, but I have them both and I do enjoy them both. I think they're fantastic fragrances with great performance as eau de parfums. But Versace Eros is fantastic. Thank you so much. Hey, number 17, thank you for being here. Like I said, I do the best I can to answer you guys. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I just try what I can do. With all that being said, it just means a lot for me, for you guys even stopping through here and asking questions at all. Without y'all, it's pointless. So thank you and you guys' thoughts and feedback. Take on Apple Brandy. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I'm going to have to check that out. Who's this weirdo? Who are you? Thanks for coming through. What you think about Angel? Are you talking about Angel Share by Killian? If that's what you're talking about, I don't really like it. It's not my style. It's a little too syrupy for me personally. I actually do like Lattafa Hamra's take on it more. If you want something very similar to that, then Kismet's Magic is like straight to the core, but I'm just not a big fan. I like other Killian fragrances, but Angel Share is just not my style. Is there any better brand than Armaf in the Middle East? I mean, Lattafa is good, but not completely consistent. They pump out a lot, but it's not always great. But I will say Killian, which one did you say? You said other than Armaf. They do a really good job. I think Afnan is actually holding their own, but for the most part, French Avenue, they do well. They're not perfect by any means, but French Avenue does good, and definitely Armaf might be one of my favorites as far as that's concerned. Now, if you talk about as a whole, like don't worry about price range, Amouage, 100% for me personally. Which fragrance discounters do you use and recommend? When I use fragrance discounters, I always go for fragrancenet.com. Again, I ain't sponsored. They've just been consistent. Half of my collection came from them. The other half was from like Macy's, Sephora, places like that, Ulta. Definitely fragrancenet.com. They've always been perfect with shipping. They've always been perfect with giving me like the real stuff in like a giant actual warehouse. So it always tickles me when people go to like Joma Shop. FragranceNet ships so much faster, and I just like them. So that's just me personally. Max Aroma is pretty cool too. Michael Singh, I have not tried that one personally, so I don't want to give you any misleading information. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue or Sport? For me personally, Light Blue. You got really great energy. You've earned a new subscriber. Well, I really appreciate you being here. I try the best I can to keep up with everybody, and if I ever like miss out, I'm sorry, you guys. I try. I don't like the DNA of Angel Share as well, but Hamra, but I like Stronger With You Intensely. Yeah, Stronger With You Intensely is fantastic, and Lattafa Hamra is really good to me personally. It's not something I really wear ever. I'm able to suggest it to people because they did a good job, I think. So FragranceNet is great. Yes, it is. I love FragranceNet. Thank you, Jake, by the way, for stopping through here. It's amazing. Please try a sample. I'm putting you on. Thank you, Michael. Well, definitely anytime anybody's got any recommendations, it's easier for me if you find, I don't use Instagram that much, but if you find my name, Andrew Douglas Moon, on Instagram, and you just send it to me in a message, I appreciate that. And you ain't got to follow me. I don't care if you follow me or not, but if you send me in a message any of your suggestions, I'd like to go check those out. So I'm not going to buy them anytime soon, but I do have a little list I'm building up, and I appreciate y'all's input. So, with that being said, I'm going to do this stream for a little bit longer. I think I'm at the 40-minute mark, so I'm going to ride this bad boy out until the hour mark and hang out and continue to answer you guys' questions about fragrances. But again, just letting it be known, it's okay if you guys don't want to subscribe to the channel, because for me personally, at this point, I am sort of gear shifting the overall content of this channel as a whole since my little algorithm died, but I've been having a great time hanging out with you guys during these streams. It's been awesome. Real quick, I want to answer you. Do you have any of the Michael Malone fragrances? I do not. And Azure Oud, by the way, it is actually amazing. Not every French Avenue fragrance is great. This one, I love it, but it's not for everybody. Just want to throw that out there. It's rough to suggest this to people because the notes are a little dense and rich, and the way the boil down is tough for a lot of people, but I personally really like this for the price, and it's super strong, just like Coco Morado. I'm sorry, is Paris Avenue close to God of Fire? You're talking about French Avenue's Vulcan Few. As far as scent goes, very close to the fragrance profile, but just like God of Fire, the performance is not that great. It just isn't. Even today, for like the 5th time, my wife tried it out now so I can make sure I'm not going nose blind, and it just faded off like the snap of a finger. And this is a real bottle that I got directly from the source. Not sponsored, I had to buy it. This was $55. I think a lot of people are getting this for $70 now. Very, very hyped up on TikTok. It's a waste of money. I wouldn't recommend it unless you just really want to smell it. But it's not a good performer like everybody says it is. And I do like French Avenue, so I'm not bagging on them as a whole. Just telling you my personal opinions. And you ain't got to be sorry. Top best 3 for me personally: Michael Martinez, Le Mal Le Parfum, and then Maison Francis Kirkjohn's Oud Silk Mood, and Zerjoff's Naxos. Personally, Cognac Blaze, I had to check that out. Does the Azure Oud smell super oudy or fruit heavier? To be real with you, it's much more fruit heavier in and of itself. Azure Oud is very dense on like that bright fruity feel at the top. I think it's supposed to be passion fruit, something like that. But it does boil down into a place that's a little bit more relaxed, but it becomes just very strong all day. Have you tried Maison Francis Kirkjohn? I sure have. One of my favorites of all times is Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum. Back here, I have Grand Soir, which is also in my top 10. And then in the last right here, I've got Baccarat Rouge Extrait de Parfum, the Baccarat Rouge 540. And it's one of my favorite fragrance houses in the world. Hard to recommend to people because they're very expensive and also just kind of a narrow pathway when it comes to fragrance choices, but most definitely. So with that being said, I'm very much appreciating all you guys stopping through here. Please feel free to continue asking fragrance questions, but I just want to let this be known. In this channel, I don't need you guys to subscribe. I just like hanging out with you guys. If you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to continue posting actual fragrance review videos, but the big thing I'm going to be doing for the most part these days is keep up doing live streams because I've been having a whole lot of fun doing it. Do you own Dior Homme? I do own a Dior Homme Intense, and it's really nice, but I'm not a big fan of the new Parfum edition. But yeah, just to continue what I'm saying real fast, this channel, because again, I'm just doing what I want at this point, is I'm going to be gear shifting to doing more focus on my Bible studies, and as well I'm just doing some general sermons and stuff at some point. So I totally get if I lose all you guys for that. I don't expect anything else, but I am a Christian. I welcome people of all walks of life here to this channel as a whole. Doesn't matter who you are. Not here to argue or debate with anybody, but as a whole, lately in my life and with everything that's been happening, for the better and for the worse, like anything that's going on, it's just meant a lot to me to really connect even deeper with something that's been everything to me for the past basically 7 years. So again, just talking to people and helping people out who are going through substance abuse problems means a lot to me. Honestly, as much as I love perfumery, that has meant more to me as well, connecting with people during these live streams about that, and as well getting to talk about faith and stuff, and being respectful to other beliefs as well. So again, not here to debate, not here to argue, but I don't need, I'm going to keep doing my fragrance content. I'm just letting you guys know that you don't have to subscribe or expect anything, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of that stuff going forward. So do you sell these or review them? I review them. I don't sell anything personally. How do you end up as a fragrance connoisseur? And God bless you as well. Real quick, what's the best cheapie? To be honest with you, whether it's going to be, again, the Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions or Hot Lodge Vanilla Dunes, to me, those are really good cheapies. And then Supremacy Collector's Edition by Afnan. So, how did I end up doing fragrance collecting and stuff? Just to answer that really quickly, I've always been passionate about perfumery since I was young. I've loved like scent and smells, and like my wife works with flowers, and I love anything floral stuff like that. And just to me, scent since I was small is a way to like to connect to people and make memories and stuff. So that's always been special to me. And then thanks to my mom, when I was around like 11 or 12, I really got into like smelling fragrances that she had. And so that's pretty much the gist of it is as I got older and I had the ability to do so, especially recently after we sold our house and had some money, like quite a bit of chunk of change left over, I thought, well, let me start doing this. I saw a bunch of people doing reviews online, but they weren't necessarily being honest as far as I could see. And I even got burned a couple of times trusting people. So I thought, I'm going to remain unsponsored. I'm going to remain unpaid and just be honest. Well, if people want to send me free stuff, I will check it out, but I'm not going to lie for you. So that's kind of how I got started doing this. What do you think about Tag Mist? Haven't tried it, but thanks for asking. Baccarat Rouge, it is. Baccarat Rouge is fantastic. I just don't wear it. So my wife, she started wearing it after we got it, and I love it on her. Like it makes me think about her when I smell it now. So that's just why I don't wear it, but it is a very good fragrance. We need a woman to rate the fragrance, not you. Well, hey, that's your personal opinion, Zoe. You don't have to be here, but my wife can also come through sometimes and answer questions. So, Hugo Boss, bottle EDP, how much is the longevity? So, I haven't actually worn it myself other than testing it at the store, and I don't ever want to give my opinion unless I've worn something multiple times and can tell you how long does it last. So, just throwing it out there, but I appreciate you stopping through and answering the questions. Very interesting, sir. Well, thank you, TV, for stopping through here. I really appreciate it. Again, you guys are always welcome to ask me anything you want to while we're hanging out. But like I said, I'm going to keep doing the fragrance streams because it does mean something to me. But the channel is going to be a lot more just stuff I care about as a whole. So if anybody wants to stick around for that, here in about an hour to an hour and a half, I am going to be doing today's actual biblical studies series, getting into the scholarship and stuff. But with that being said, if you do want to stick around, you're more than welcome to do so, no matter who you are. It's not necessarily a fully devotional thing. But if you want to ask me some more fragrance stuff while we're still going, I'm going to go just a little bit longer. And if you enjoy the stream, by the way, if you enjoy hanging out, not to be a salesman guy, but just hit the like button because it really helps the channel a lot. I appreciate that. What do you think about MK Cologne? Are you talking about Maison Kirkjohn, or is there something else? I'm not sure what you mean by MK Cologne, but if you mean Maison Kirkjohn, it's one of my favorite fragrance houses that exist. Very good stuff. By the way, if anybody who's watching is one of my moderators, I'd love to know if you're going to be available within the next 2 hours because I am going to need your help during the study stream if you guys are cool with that. I appreciate that. If anybody would like to be a moderator and be respectful and help me keep out riffraff, I'd appreciate that as well because unlike this, when I do these streams, while I do the studying and reading part, I'm not going to really be interacting with the chat very much until the end. So it would be very useful if I could have you guys come hang out. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Robert Hook. Kia and I'll be there. Heck yeah, Mick, I really appreciate that. Good to see you. Have you ever tried Safari? I have not. And Yo-Yo, I really appreciate you. Much respect to you too, buddy. It's been a lot for you to stop through. Like, I mean that. Every time I say that, I really mean that. When you guys pop through and ask questions, it means a lot. Spice Bomb Extreme and top three DeMarley fragrances. So Spice Bomb Extreme is a pretty decent fragrance. It's not the most, obviously it's a cheaper fragrance. It's not the most expensive fragrance in the world, and that also shines through as like the scent quality as a whole. It's also not really the best performer. Like it's very loud at first, but it does wear off as the hours go on. And this has had plenty of time to macerate. So it's not a first choice for me personally, but for somebody younger who wants to get into spicy fragrances, I think it's pretty decent. But for me, as far as like my top 3 Marley fragrances, it kind of shifts based off of the day, just being completely real with you. But at this moment, Althea, I know that sounds vapid because everybody's into Althea, but I really do love it. I think that Parfums de Marly did a great thing there. For me personally as well, Carlisle and Leighton. I think I'm going to keep that. I love Herod and Ojon and stuff like that. I love Percival, but I think Althea, Carlisle, and Leighton is going to be in my top. Now, you know what? I'm going to kick out Carlisle. I'm going to stick with Leighton, or Althea, Leighton, and Percival. Those are probably going to be my top 3 I'm going to stick with. Any cologne you're going to give away? Not me personally. I don't sell these myself. It's just something that I have as a collection that I've been doing reviews for. So just throwing it out there. What about Creed? Creed are not good performers, but they do have some really nice smelling fragrances. I've noticed the performance isn't the best, and yeah, I'm 24, so that fits. Yeah, you're correct. It's not the best performers in the world. What's that smell? This live 4 lives above, sign of a good cologne. Well, hey, I don't know exactly what you meant by that, but I appreciate it. I really do like your streaming. Hey, I appreciate you for coming through. Like I said, no matter who you are or what you believe, again, I talk about my faith very openly. I'm going to be doing that a lot more as the channel goes forward. So I totally understand if people don't want to hang around for that kind of stuff. But again, no matter who you are or what you believe, you're always welcome here. Because I just want to have a community where we can hang out and talk about life, talk about whatever. So when people actually like these streams, it means a lot to me. I thought about starting a second channel, but I have learned the hard way that once you already got something going, people are more willing to hang out with you and just talk when you already have like a seeming audience. If you don't have that, it disappears pretty fast. What cologne are you wearing right now? Right now, I'm actually wearing Eros Energy, Versace Eros Energy. It's one of my favorite summertime fragrances. King Sword, what's up, buddy? Super happy to see you here. I actually am glad that you came through because my buddy Nick and as well Kia, they're going to be a part of what I'm about to do. But here in literally like an hour and a half, I'm going to be doing the next Bible study, biblical study series. So talking about the composition of the Bible and then going forward into the introductory part before we get to Genesis. So if you are willing to be a part of that, if you got the time to do so, it's going to be around probably at this point, maybe around 3:30. So if you're going to have time to do that, I really appreciate you. And if not, hey, that's totally cool too. Just always happy to have people be there and help out moderate and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm going to have Nick and Kia. I appreciate y'all. And I know, but I love seeing you guys come through. So, but as I said, definitely going to be touching more on that stuff because it's become even more important to me than ever lately with things that have happened in my life, like super special blessings that have come to unfold, especially with my wife's business and everything. And just general personal experiences have been gear shifting a lot of stuff that's important to me. And I've come to realize something that I want to do. So like I said, I know that this is going to continue to be fragrance related stuff, but how can you get closer to salvation? If that's like a serious question, I mean, first of all, just very simply, prayer, talking to God. And for me personally, as a Christian, to be very specific, I would say definitely studying and learning who Jesus is and his teachings and following those, because for me, my personal life and experiences, that more than anything else I've ever tried out and studied. No disrespect to anyone. I don't mean to, and you're all welcome here. For me personally, though, that has been the one thing that has made the biggest difference is welcoming him by my own choice into my life and studying that. Not here to argue with people, not here to debate or put anybody down. That's just for me, my personal experience, and you can take that as you would like. But just prayer very much, and talking to God on a regular basis, that's really the way to do it. And becoming a part of, if you're interested, becoming a part of a church community, because community is especially what we was made for in this life, not just to be all isolated and alone. So again, that's like a small version to get there. There's so much more we can extrapolate and expand on that, but it's kind of somewhere to start. What are your thoughts on Jimmy Choo Aqua? Jimmy Choo fragrances are not something I recommend for a lot of people. They're decent as a whole, but they're just not super distinct, and they are for designers, still kind of in that designer price point realm. So I don't typically, and they're not the best performers in the world, so I'm not a huge fan, but I think it's okay as like a more classic type of fragrance. Can you explain the Trinity? In and of itself, we could talk about the different concepts of it, but I'm not going to get into that in this particular stream. If you would like to do that, you're more than welcome to come to the next one. But definitely that's an idea. I guess I could try to break it down a little bit, but like I said, it's kind of iffy doing it on these fragrance streams because there's always people who want to come through and start arguing, and that's not really what I do. I'm not here to debate stuff. I'm here to just discuss concepts as they exist in different schools of thought. What are your thoughts on God of Fire? Is it overhyped? Yes, God of Fire is massively overhyped. Just throwing that out there. Actually, you know what? That last question, I don't want to dodge that, so I will come back and get to that just to give you like a summarized example of at least what exists. But to tell you like my personal thoughts, that'd be too much to get into. With that being said, though, God of Fire is very overhyped because the smell of it itself is not excessively unique, just like Vulcan Few. The price that you pay for it versus the performance that you get out of it is fairly disappointing, but I'm aggressive on it just because of that. The marketing, the expense, all that, not really my personal style. What is a better real quick, also, do you have 3 niche suggestions for your favorites at the moment? Always going to go to Zerjoff's Naxos, Zerjoff's 40 knots, Torino 23, Amawage's Amawage Interlude Black Iris as well. I know that's like more than what you asked for. Amawage's Jubilation or Rose Incense. There's an actual lot to pick from. Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum. I know it's kind of designer, but it's still within that realm. And better fragrance than Jimmy Choo. For me personally, I would shift you towards Versace Eros Parfum or Eros Flame, depending on what you're going for. Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. Something if you're talking about the Aqua series, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, kind of in that same realm. And again, there's other things if you was to go up price point we could get to. Where do I live? How much do you pay for insurance after taxes? I have no idea, to be honest with you. My wife handles that. So, and real quick, where do I live? I can't tell you exactly where I live. So I will say I live in the United States. I live in the South, more specifically North Carolina, but I'm not going to say where in North Carolina because I can't do that. But how do you tell if a fragrance is real or not? So a fragrance is real or not just based off of the simple fact that kind of trying to do comparative packaging, and as well trying to make sure you only buy things or order things from like a reputable source. That's what I typically do, because there are too many. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, somebody asked a similar question, and you'd be surprised. But even with cheaper fragrances, they're like $30 US. There are companies who've gone above and beyond for some strange reason to spend real money to get fake packaging created for fake fragrances. And it's like, what the? You already have the money to do that. Why would you do that? You're not even making a lot of money in return. So I just don't understand. Why is the sky blue? I couldn't possibly tell you. Are you a 1911 fan? Or I'm not going to answer those questions because I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. While I'm not against like gun ownership or anything like that, personally, if done responsibly and through people who are properly trained. At the same time, those are the kind of questions I don't really get into when I'm talking about this stuff because it's unrelated. But is the North better than South Carolina? Any beef between the two? As far as I know, with the, I don't really know if there's any beef between the two. I know I loved Myrtle Beach growing up, but there's been an incredible amount of issues as far as Myrtle Beach is concerned for quite some time. But I personally love being from North Carolina, if that means anything, but probably not. Do I carry? Not really. Not in public or anything like that. I just don't feel like the current need to do so, although I can say that it can be helpful depending on the situation. How has God impacted my life? In so many ways. Real quick, by the way, do you have Jeffrey Dahmer glasses? People say that from time to time. I've had these glasses long before he became popular, although that shouldn't be the thing. But long before that stuff became popular, I've always loved big glasses because of my grandpa. So, yeah. You talk about that. I don't know. Chris Paul, Aaron, how much did your tattoos cost? Well, if you guys want to talk about different stuff, that's totally cool. As far as tattoos cost, I can tell you the meanings behind a lot of it, but I didn't pay for a lot of it. And as well, you can kind of see that in the overall quality. But I was just buddies with the people at the time. A lot of it was just about me loving the ocean, and some of it involves my children. So pretty much for the most part, me loving things that are aquatically themed, things that involve like things I used to enjoy, TV shows, and as well, kind of sort of stuff about my kids for the most part. Only beef between the states or college football? Definitely. How can you donate? By the way, nice personality. Thank you. I really appreciate that. As far as how can I donate, I don't really have a way to do that, to be honest with you, just yet. At some point, maybe there could be a chance. But if you ever want to do that, maybe that'll come in the future. But at this moment, I don't know. I don't really need anybody to send me anything anyway. So I'd rather you use whatever you got for yourself in any kind of productive way. What country is this? The United States. He was popular in doing his act, but not really documentary you're talking about. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you, but I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, with that being said, so this is off topic. If anybody does want to ask any fragrance questions, just want to throw this out there. But if anybody does get into the need to want to argue and debate stuff, my mods are going to kick you out of here because it's just not what this channel is about. If you want to say things that are not child friendly or family friendly, you're also going to get kicked out of here because this is a family-friendly show. But you're more than welcome to ask questions about anything you would like to. Again, if you want to argue, it's just going to waste both of our times because that's stupid. I'm too old for that. Just curious if you have tried Love Kills Oud. I have not. I do love rose fragrances, but I'm going to have to add that to my list. Why the rose? Okay, so why the rose? Thank you again for appreciating that, by the way. It means a lot to me. As far as this goes, actually, at the time, I still loved rose fragrances and flowers, and this was like long before I met my wife. I got all this junk when I was like 18. I'm 32 now. But basically, I wanted more sea life stuff, again, because that's what a lot of this arm was, other than a slice of pizza. But I told the tattoo artist, hey, I want to have like a compass or something here. And then he, apparently it's called a compass rose. So he just drew this. It's like it has compass points to it, but did a flower because he also knew I loved flowers at the time. So cool how that worked out. And my wife ended up being somebody who professionally works with flowers. But yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. And I like it. It's funny because a lot of people accuse me of trying to look tough with tattoos, but I'm like, dude, there's a flower on my neck. There's nothing tough about that. So do I have Hod Lodge Island? I do. Hod Lodge Island is actually pretty decent. Mahir Legacy. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I've tried it. A friend of mine has it. I bought it originally because of him, and I thought it was pretty decent. But after a while of exposure, I'm not the hugest fan of it for what it's worth. I think it almost smells a little too synthetic and Febreze. But that's just my personal thoughts. I don't know what that means. Pretty cool tattoo. Thank you. Is he a florist? You talking about me? No, I'm not. My wife is, but I'm not personally a florist. And she's a lady. Do you happen to have Latafa Assad Zanzibar? I do. Oh, okay, sorry. I totally get you. Like I said, sometimes I speak too quickly before people get a chance to correct themselves. But no, so she actually works for, she for a very long time was a flower preservation artist for a company. I can talk about what that means. Now she does that professionally as a side business, and it's growing quite a bit, and is very, very proud of that. Thank you, God. But as far as what she does on top of that full time, she works for she's a florist, a customer sales representative for a floral wholesaler. So basically, for actual florists, they come to her and her company to buy flowers directly from the farms they come from. That kind of stuff. Hard to explain a little bit, sort of. But so Latafa Assad, I do not have Zanzibar. I do want to get that. I've got Latafa Assad bourbon, and I smelled the original. I gave away the original because it really wasn't for me. And between Gisada Ambassador Intense and then original Dior Sauvage Elixir, I just didn't feel like it was necessary to have it. So nice collection. So no, I don't personally make fragrances myself. And thank you, John. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I really enjoy developing my collection for the sake of like these videos and reviews. And but just always want to encourage people, please don't ever try to have all these unless you do reviews. It's unnecessary. I always tell people 7 to 15 fragrances max, because you really can only express yourself so many ways before you start feeling kind of over clustered. Best perfume that's affordable. As far as aphrodisiac goes, in and of itself, pheromones and stuff in fragrances is really just kind of it's kind of a gimmick. It doesn't really do anything. Your personality does all the work, just being honest with you. But my favorite one that's affordable, it's a little tricky because it depends on what you mean by that. But I will say the Essential Obsessions Eagle Star, or like Hodlodge Vanilla Dunes, I kind of love those. Moschino Toy Boy, hate the bottle, hate the name, but it is pear, cucumber, and rose. Again, laugh if you want. I love rose fragrances, so that's personally one of my favorites. Argos, the Trident one, is fire. Heck yes, I really want to try that. I really, really look forward to getting my hands on Argos as the Trident, because that's one of the ones I saw that looks fantastic. Which one's the most expensive? I always go for its Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait de Parfum, because how much you get versus how much it costs. That's personally what I think is the most expensive. What are some high-end fragrances that are 100% worth the expensive price tag? So Zerjoff, almost the entire Zerjoff line, like Opera, Naxos, 40 Knots. Most Amouages, although they're very, very risky because they are very Middle Eastern for the most part, and that's not for everybody, especially a lot of Western noses. So probably, yeah, if I was going to say like Amouage Black Iris, Reflections, worth the price tag to me personally, but it's also kind of up to the person. Do you have JPG Le Beau Le Parfum? I sure do. And Le Beau Le Parfum is one of my favorite fragrances in the entire world. The other day, I swore I almost was about to say it's my favorite, but Le Male Le Parfum is still going to hold that for me. But Le Beau Le Parfum is a monster performer. I'm from Arizona. Which state you from? I'm from North Carolina. Pear, cucumber, and rose. Absolutely. If you want to try it out, again, I hate the bottle, hate the name, but Moschino's Toy Boy, I can show you again if you need me to. It is incredible. Have you tried Latafa Honor and Glory? I can't remember what the name is, but I tried the white bottle, and it's actually really nice. Got a good, strong coconut scent to it. And I was a big fan, but I haven't tried any of the other ones yet. Any dupes fragrances? I do. I'm not a huge dupe fan, but there is a lot of them that are pretty decent. So this is where I typically keep most of those at. And for me personally, Coco Morado, Azure Oud, Vanilla Dunes, Eagle Star, stuff like that. Supremacy Collector's Edition by Alpha, pretty good. So I'm not a huge dupe person, but I love synthetic endocrine disruptors. I don't know what you mean by that, to be honest with you, like exactly what that means, but yes. Should I get a Club de Nuit limited edition or just the $25 EDT? Ooh, so that's tough. For me personally, I don't like the EDT of Club de Nuit. The Eau de Parfum is already also just kind of like, if you could just save a little bit extra money, I personally prefer the Pure Parfum, not the collector's edition, the Pure Parfum Club de Nuit. That's just me. So you can do whatever you want, but that's just my personal taste of the bunch. Do you have any recommendations for female citrus, fresh, floral, and spicy fragrances? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have the best nose, like at this point, of like experience with a lot of female fragrances. My wife is not as big into them as I are. She only has like a small collection. But I will say, I do love Good Fortune by Victor and Rolf. It's nice. She has the Yara, the orange bottle, and the pink bottle from Lattafa. They're behind here, so just throwing it out there. I don't want to grab them, like get all in you guys' way. Actually, Blue Jasmine is really nice by Dolce & Gabbana, but I will say the Dolce & Gabbana Capri in Love for women, and as well the Light Blue for women, the original, is really good. Decent performance, very good for the summertime, fresh fragrances. As far as spicy ones go, though, I don't have the best experience, so I just don't want to gear shift you in the wrong direction. But I recommend, like you probably already have, go check out Sephora. And as well, the new Paradise Garden, the Jean Paul Gaultier, I don't know if it's called like Le Beau. No, it's probably not. But whatever the La Femme or whatever, Paradise Garden for women, it actually is really good. And Diva, I think it's called, something like that. Best summer fragrance, in my opinion, Le Beau Le Parfum. Just for me personally, but I think Le Beau Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier is like a killer all across the board, amazing summer fragrance. Paradise Garden, really good. Le Beau Le Parfum for me personally. Heck yeah, King Baldwin, super happy for you. Have a good one. Enjoy your stream. Thank you. I appreciate that, Blazing. It was really awesome to have you come hang out here. Anytime I get the opportunity to hang out with you guys, it means a lot to me. Like I said, me saying this is probably going to sound silly because I'm sitting here doing a fragrance stream. I don't want to like have you guys confused. But again, if you are thinking about subscribing to the channel, just being straight up, I am kind of backing away from making fragrance just the key thing. I'm going to keep doing fragrance streams because I love hanging out with y'all. And I'm always going to love perfumery, and I have my whole life. But lately, since I've had the opportunity to really think about what I want to do going forward is with just anything I create, I really enjoyed doing my Bible study stream with everybody the other day. It was super fun getting into the history and stuff like that, more scholarly level information. So I'm going to kind of start focusing a lot more on my actual faith out loud, because it's one of the most important part of my life and my family and everything. So I just want to make this channel a lot more about just having fun and connecting to you guys and talking about things that are important to me, and not just about one particular thing. So I know that's not good for the algorithm, but I don't care about the algorithm. I just care about connecting to everybody. So if you just like, if you're thinking about subscribing, it's what you're going to experience. And so I don't want to mislead you guys. Have you tried Bach? No, I have not. Sorry about that, buddy. And again, if anybody else has, though, you're welcome to give your thoughts. I would recommend to my other buddy here, get Le Beau Le Parfum over all of those, just me. But if you're choosing between those two, get Paradise Garden, but Le Beau Le Parfum, way better. Limited edition, much better, from other perfumers said. Cool. Gotta go. Well, hey, King Baldwin, thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you so much for popping through. Muhammad V, thanks for being here, buddy. Super happy to see you. Have you been? I've been doing really good. Like I said, I did a name for the channel. It has changed. It's like my silver play button. It says Douglas Moon Fragrance. That's what it used to be. But now, since I'm going to be talking about other stuff like more often and things that are like more important to me, along with fragrances and stuff, going to be just kind of a little bit over the place. But my passions is just now Andrew Douglas Moon. So that's what I'm going to be going by from now on, just like my real name. So thank you guys for being here. And it means a lot to me that y'all popped through and took the time to hang out. So if you guys want to stick around, I'll come back in about an hour or so when I'm ready to do the actual next section of the Bible study. If you guys want to come for those live streams and be a part of that series, hey, anybody's welcome to come. It's not, again, purely devotional. There's going to be devotional aspects to it. And if you don't know what that means that for any belief system, they are speaking from the stance of believing and just giving devotion to their beliefs, especially if you're a Christian. But in my case, a lot of stuff I go through is taking you guys through like scholarly information, because I'm really passionate about that. I love studying religious histories, and I have for a very long time, for about a decade now, including my own beliefs. So you can't convince people or study people into a belief. That's not how that works. But you can learn about the histories of stuff to the best we can learn. So if anybody wants to check that out, you're more than welcome to join that stream when it comes up. Do you believe following your heart the correct way to follow God's path for me? Well, that's a bit of a tricky question, but not in the sense like you're trying to trick me. I'm just saying that in and of itself, following your heart can at times be like misleading, because a lot of times in this life, our emotions can get the best of us. This is just me throwing this out there. No, again, I'm not here to debate. If anybody doesn't like what I say, it's okay. You don't have to stick around here. I'm not going to argue with you. But with that being said, to give my honest thoughts on the question, not that I can give you the perfect answers, I would say that for the most part, a lot of times in life, our feelings about things can really be sometimes wrong, sometimes right. To learn how to critically think and whittle down and learn how to step outside for a second and really look at a scenario and think about, is this really for me? That's kind of one of the only things you can honestly do to learn how to do that the best you can over time, to question yourself and critique yourself. So following your heart can mean a lot of things, but sometimes that is also you following your emotions into the wrong direction. So for me, as a Christian, not saying you have to believe this, but through prayer and trying to ask God, regardless of how I feel about these situations, can you show me, I trust you to show me the right path. And from my personal experience, setting aside just what I think or what I feel, many times that has been very much come to be like God shows me the way over even what I thought was the way. So that's a Christian answer from my point of view, trusting God and his will over my own in many situations, because I may think something looks like the right way and I go wrong with it. So I'm not asking you guys to believe that. I'm not here to argue about it. And thank you for asking the question. I was thinking of getting Mancera's Amore Cafe as a gift for my girlfriend. Ooh. So for your girlfriend, she might like it. She might really like it. Cafe Latte as well by Hot Lodge is a really good fragrance. But for that style, it just depends on if your girlfriend likes that kind of stuff, because they can be a little bit on the masculine side, just throwing it out there, a little bit dense and rich. So not necessarily feminine leaning, but she might like that kind of stuff. I don't know. So if you know she's into that sort of things, I think I could say that's a good choice. So very strong, very good fragrance, but I maybe wouldn't go that way myself. So, but hopefully she likes it. But Cafe Latte is a little bit cheaper than Amore Cafe, and it actually is a really good take on it. But Cafe Latte is a fantastic fragrance. And thank you, Aiden. Hopefully I said your name properly. No disrespect whatsoever, but thank you for coming through and hanging out and asking questions. Again, like I said, I'm through this channel. Originally, it was just purely based around fragrances because I love perfumery, but as well, I just want to get to know people a lot more and talk about things that are very important to me. And over even fragrances, my faith and the way that my life has come along through that faith, and my family and my wife and my kids, they are like the core. All of this is the most important stuff in my life. So sharing that with you guys is where I'm really going to be gear shifting this stuff. And anybody who doesn't want to stick around, that's all right. Because again, I'm not doing it for clout junk. Anybody wants to stick around and just continue to get to know each other and build a community, we're always going to do fragrance streams here. But just all this other stuff is very important to me too. Help support my wife's business and all that stuff means a lot to me. To answer what my cap says, it says it is finished, John 19:30. So it's a biblical hat. I like to wear a lot of these. I got some that mean a lot to me and are pretty important. I really like this one, although unfortunately it sits funky on my head. It all came from the same place. Again, no sponsorship. I just like them. It's like a little mountain and it's got the little thing. And for you guys who don't know what that means, it just means God's greater than the highs and the lows. Super corny, I'm sure, to people who are not into that. But to me, I really like it, and it's fun. Do you like Zerjoff parfums? They're cool. They're not huge for me personally, but they're decent enough. The Zerjoff Most Wanted line, somebody asked me earlier about the EDP versus the parfum. I definitely prefer the EDP kind of, because, again, it's not my favorite fragrance profile, but between the bunch, that's the kind of one I kind of shift towards. She likes gourmand fragrances, but I don't know what to get her. To be real with you, if you was considering getting a Amore Cafe, I would honestly say if she likes that kind of stuff, it wouldn't hurt to get Latafa Hamra, especially the original, because a friend of mine, he got his girlfriend Latafa Hamra, and she wears it like crazy, and she really likes it. So, cool, man, you're good. Best wishes for the future. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. So, like I said, I'm not purposely trying to run anybody off from this channel, like to just be a turd or anything like that. But it's just I realized, the stuff is really important to me, especially again after the old algorithm died a little bit ago. I was like really hoping to rebuild it as it was. But then when I started live streaming and connecting to people, some of the most important moments to me, like I care about important moments a lot more than I care about just attention. So some of the most important moments is when I brought up being 7 years sober. Some folks were telling me they themselves are struggling or on that journey. And I was like, wow, I love getting to connect with people, because that's one of the most important parts of community and getting sober. So as much as I love doing the fragrance stuff, and again, I'm going to keep doing it, my faith and also helping people who are struggling out there, if I ever can, I ain't God, but if I can help people and let him work through me, that's kind of my goal. So not like a bait and switch here on the channel, like, ha, I did fragrances and now I got you guys, let's talk about God. But as I've had time to think about it, that's just where I kind of want to gear shift things and just do it. So if you guys want to stay, happy to see you. And if you don't, that's totally okay too. I appreciate y'all for the time that you spent here. And then to my buddy here, I'm sorry, cool butterflies. I like that. But hello, thank you for popping through. But yeah, I'm about to end this stream here in a second. You guys are more than welcome to ask a few more questions if you do want to support. Again, as always, I hate doing the salesman thing, but hit the like button. It definitely helps these streams continue to develop and grow. But I'm about to jump off of here, and then we're going to go here in just a little bit, do the Bible study stream for the day. And I'm looking forward to having fun with that, hanging out with y'all. How's grandma? Thank you so much for asking it, by the way. So I haven't brought that up recently because it has been a situation. It's been a little hard to manage internally because my grandma's still here. For anybody who don't know, she's in hospice. And for the past couple of weeks, she hasn't been able to eat because she is in the process of passing away. It's been difficult. Especially from an aunt and for family and stuff who's even closer than I am to her. So it's been hard to balance with that a little bit because I've had a lot of people in my life pass away, but I've never watched somebody do it very slowly. But sometimes this kind of thing happens when they themselves aren't ready to let go and the people in their life aren't ready to let them go. I believe these things are honored at times, and it has seemed to happen. So for me personally, it's been difficult to see her still struggling and losing herself more. She's already not there because of dementia, but it's been a tough time. But at the same time, I'm still getting through. So it's going to be okay. Well, thanks for answering all my questions. Still on your live accent. Hey, I appreciate you. That means a lot to me. And God bless you too, buddy. It means a lot to me that you guys even stopped through here again. I don't expect even a fraction of the people who pop through to also be Christians. Nor do I have a problem with anybody who comes through who's Muslim, who's atheist, Hindu, whatever. I appreciate you all. But again, like I said, I'm just going to be a lot more open about my own beliefs and faith as I move forward. And again, not to be pushy, but just to be realistic about what matters to me. And so if you guys want to hang out, awesome. And if not, again, I can't stress enough, that's totally okay. No bad blood. But it's still going to continue to do these fragrance streams every Wednesday. And then also on Friday nights, if I can, Friday night fragrance time, and then Sundays as well. I guess I'm just going to be a lot more relaxed on posting full-on fragrance review videos because it seems like it's more appreciated with you guys during these streams. And as far as posting like actual videos go, I'm just going to share a lot of stuff like me and my family and just general like faith-based stuff kind of crank this into that direction. So I totally get it if anybody wants to dip. With that being said, I always end my streams with a prayer. You guys are more than welcome to stick around for that. If you're not for that, but you want to ask a few more questions while I pray, you're welcome to do that too. But I am about to end it that way. It's a beautiful thing when people have different views but can treat each other respectfully. It really is, and I appreciate that. And you are absolutely right, my brother Aiden. I thank you so much for saying that, and God bless you. Thank you for coming through. So like I said, if anybody wants to ask any more fragrance questions while I pray us out, you're welcome to do that. If you want to bow your head and pray with me, you're welcome to do that too. Again, this channel is no longer just about like me trying to build this channel. It's just about me wanting to hang out with y'all, have a community, and talk about fragrances, talk about my faith especially, and just life as a whole, and be there for y'all. So, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all these beautiful people who stopped through, whether they had certain intentions or good intentions, they wanted to troll, they wanted to just ask questions, whatever their interest was for popping through here. I'm thankful for each and every one of these folks. I don't know most of their real names, but you do. So I just pray, God, that you bless these folks who come through here, and I pray that they come to know you and get to experience your just beautiful peace and your grace and your love. And anybody who here is struggling right now with anything, I hope they come to understand that even if they're in the midst of hopelessness, that there is so many purposes for their life. A lot of us get caught up in trying to find out that one purpose, but there isn't just one purpose. You've made us with so many different values and meanings in our own individual life. And just like these fragrances, we're all a work of your hands, a work of art to you. And I'm thankful for that, Lord. So any of these people coming through here, no matter who they are or what they believe, I truly just, I pray for them, God. And I ask you always, please keep me sincere and search my heart and get out anything in there that's getting in the way. And I love you, Lord. And I lift all these people up. And in your precious name, Jesus, I thank you for your grace, your mercy, and just everything that you've done for me in my life. And I pray for these people and their families. So in your name, Jesus, all these people, I lift them up to you. And I say in your name, amen. So like I said, thank you guys so much for popping through. It means a lot to me. Appreciate y'all so very much. And definitely thank you guys for hung out for the prayer. You guys are awesome, fantastic. Can I recommend something for a young man that girls like and it's not that expensive? So I definitely can say that it's really always going to be subjective about the fragrances as a whole, just trying to keep up with you guys' questions. But definitely Stuff like Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum, my personal experience, compliments are excessively rare anyway. People are very shy, even here in the American South. But Le Beau Le Parfum has been one of the highest, Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum, one of the highest actual like people giving a response. It's very positive, as well as Le Mal Le Parfum and Le Mal Elixir by Jean-Paul Gaultier. I have also, surprisingly at one point, the Club de Nuit Intense Man Parfum by Armaf gotten good responses. So stuff like that. Zerjoff's Naxos, if you'd like me to show you the bottle as well, got lots of good responses from that. Just bought 9 p.m. Well, hey, buddy, I hope you like it. It's not personally, I like Afternoon. I love Collector's Edition Supremacy, but I'm not the hugest fan of 9 p.m., but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just too youthful for my personal taste. But anyway, like I said, I'm about to hop off here. Thank you guys for sticking through with the ending prayer. Again, here in a little bit, we're going to go ahead and do our Bible study stream. Anybody wants to come through, you're more than welcome to be part of that. And again, no matter who you are or what you believe, you might learn something from it. Again, it's so totally happy just to see you guys pop through no matter what. To my moderators, thank you for coming through to help me out here shortly because I will need it. Lots of people love to troll. It's not a surprise. It's not a secret. People like talking crap. But by the way, thank you for subscribing, Mars. I appreciate that. Raban Phantom. It's pretty decent. It's not my personal taste. Again, I don't like super youthful fragrances except for like 1 million extreme, 1 million elixir, stuff like that. But Raban Phantom's not really for me. But God bless all you guys. Thank you so much for coming through. If you want to go watch my old reviews or whatever, you're more than welcome to do that. I appreciate it. And if you want to stick around for the stuff to come, thank you. It means a lot to me. And I'm more than happy to hear whatever you guys might want to talk about in the future and just give me some general subject matter and stuff like that if you want to hang out and talk. But you're absolutely right. Jesus loves me. He loves you too. Every single one of you guys watching. So again, live how you are feeling. I can't convince you guys of anything. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to share that love with y'all and to connect. So thank you guys so much for popping through to improve his collection. I can't have any donations. I'm just not really accepting any of that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, I don't want that stuff turned on because I appreciate y'all. Liking and sharing the video, whatever, I will accept that. Watching my stuff, I'll accept that. But I don't really want to take money from anybody. So keep your money and take care of yourself is the only thing I'll give you guys. Just please, I'm not going to turn on super chats or anything like that because I just don't want that. So, but I appreciate y'all so very much. Hopefully I'll be catching more of your streams. Enjoy your Sunday. Same to you, buddy. I really appreciate you. Like I said, here in a little bit, I am going to be doing my Bible study stream. So new sub. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, that's the only thing I ever will appreciate and accept for you guys. If you subscribe, if you check out my stuff, I welcome that. Never, ever, ever try to send me any kind of money because I'm not even going to give you the ability to do that. So if I ever earn anything doing this, which by the way, I'm still not. So, but that's again, not the point. I realize who cares? All that matters is just having a good time because you guys are really nice and sweet. And I appreciate that. Always want to end this with a reminder. This is a family situation. I call it a show, I guess. It not really is, but it's always going to be a family show. So I don't allow people saying like vulgar junk, even if maybe outside of this, I would laugh at that. But again, young people come through here a lot and I want to be a positive influence no matter what we believe here. So just throwing it out there. And also, again, I ramble a lot. It's just how I talk and think. So to any of you guys who have been through all this and been stuck with me, thank you. So God bless you guys. If y'all want to come back for the next stream that's going to be here in a little bit, I appreciate y'all. I'll be in church for a couple of hours and I'll be back to the stream afterwards. Hey, that's totally awesome. I hope you have a good time. And I believe you're Catholic, so I'm guessing if I'm correct, you're going to go to Mass. So I went to a couple of Masses in the past few weeks just to see what that's actually like and experience that. And it was a beautiful situation. So I really appreciated that. So thank you guys for popping through. God bless y'all, and I will see y'all very soon.